www.DESIblitz.com.
We are writing partner.
जैसे सलीम जावेद,
जैसे अब्बास मस्तान, लक्ष्मीकांत प्यारगार,
मदन मोहन। हाँ, करते क्या हो तुम लोग?
सिनेमा.
First of all, I want to congratulate you.
Thank you.
This movie was first screened in Mumbai Film Festival 2013, but we'll talk about that in a second. But first, can you just give the audience an opportunity to get your interpretation of the title, Sulemani Keeda? What's that about?
Sulemani Keeda means a very big Keeda. Keeda is, in Hindi it means a bug. And in this case it's a huge bug these guys have. And the literal translation would be pain in the ass. Like it's such a big bug that it's a pain in the ass. And the English title is Writers.
You've depicted Mumbai or Bombay, I still call it Bombay, in a way that is quite familiar to me. I visit it quite often. Were you conscious of that when you were making this film, and were you as a producer also conscious of how perhaps the international audience might perceive it?
Yeah, this film is about two writers and they're working in Bollywood, which is in Mumbai. So the city is a character in the film, you know. So that's why I think this film can only be set in a city like Bombay or Los Angeles, which is a very strong hub of movies. So yeah, I was aware of the fact that Bombay was a part of the movie in a very strong way.
Talk to us about the transition from writer to director of this feature film. You've been involved in some direction, but this is your debut of directing a feature film. Can you talk to us about that transition? How was that for you?
Yeah, it was. See, I wanted to be a director. I was studying engineering, and I quit to work in films. And I started off with television shows where I used to write for a show called The Great Indian Comedy Show. It was one of the first sketch comedy shows in India. And all throughout I wanted to direct. And I think writing and directing, they're both about telling stories. So in a way, I don't really see a distinction. Writing is basically the blueprint for direction. You know, you write something and then the director goes on sets and directs what is written. So I don't see a distinction between the two for me. Because when I'm writing, I'm also directing in my head. So I'm giving stage directions, I'm writing stage directions. So in a way, it's directing. And so I think for me, it was not a really big jump that way.
Sir, it's a mix of LSD and Hukumat with shades of Devdi, and the costumes will be like Gadar.
I really liked the film. I thought it was an amazing story. It was very nicely shot. The fact that it was in Bombay and the way it was shot makes me miss Bombay. Yeah, I thought it was really good and must watch.
Some of the scenes were storyboarded and staged because we shot this film without any permissions. So
It's a guerrilla, totally guerrilla.
Yeah. So like for example, we shot on the railways. It costs a lot to shoot on the railways. Like you're not allowed to shoot. We shot on a lot of sites where we're not supposed to shoot. So we had to be very well prepared. So everything was like rehearsed. Like we were rehearsing for almost a month, and we also went on the locations and rehearsed with my DOP, my cameraman. So he was taking still pictures, and we did that for some of the exterior scenes. And yeah, it was quite well planned that way.
Talk about the locations then. I mean, you know, the interiors and the exteriors. These, you know, did you shooting on a loop? This is a low budget movie. Was it sort of friends' places and the flats and stuff that you were shooting in?
Yeah.
Tell us about that. You know, was it hard convincing them, hey, can we use your place to film?
No, in fact, it wasn't very difficult because this film happened because of friends. You know, and for example, my cousins are here. I shot in their house. I shot in my own house. I shot in his partner Chaitanya. We shot in Chaitanya's house. And Datta has a friend who gave us his apartment where we shot Gonzo scenes. So they were all the apartments and offices that we shot in belonged to friends of friends of friends. So that's how we managed to pull it off. Otherwise, locations are like really expensive to get in any city actually.
There's a lot of love in the movie.
Yeah, it's only because of love, nothing else.
The budget is low. Are you at sort of liberty to talk about the budget to give you a sense of how tight this really was for you guys?
Tao, do you want to talk about this?
Yes, sure. Guesses? How much did you think we made the movie for?
$50,000.
Any more guesses?
100 rupees.
So about $75,000. Wow. So, yeah. Yep. One thing I was going to add was a little bit more than that. I mean, the exchange rate keeps fluctuating, right?
By the way, was that Mandeep Sethi in there as well? The Punjabi guy being the rapper, yeah.
You know what? We were trying to find out who he is.
That's my friend Mandeep Sethi, I think.
Good.
We need him to sign a form.
I'll have to call him up afterwards, yes.
Yeah.
Could get awkward.
I'm glad you know him because
Yeah.
we've tried so hard to find out his name and nobody knew him. So
Yeah, he's from LA, so yes, you can catch him when you're over there, I guess.
I hope he lets us.
He's a nice guy,
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Don't tell him about the movie.
We'll get him to sign it first.
Okay.
Can you forge a signature?
It's a big X, I think, or thumbprint, one of the two. We've got a whole new cast here, talking about people that are in the movie. Talk to us about why you chose to go with these unknown faces, pretty much.
The lead actors, Mayank Tiwari and Naveen Kasturia, they're both writers. Mayank has written Ragini MMS, which is a horror film. It's a studio film in Bombay. And Naveen is a budding writer, and he's assisted Dibakar Banerjee on Love, Sex, Adoka and Shanghai. So both of them were friends of mine, and I really liked the chemistry they shared. Like, they have a very similar chemistry. So when I saw them, I started writing, and I had these guys in mind. And when it came to casting, I thought, why look around? When you have these guys around. So they agreed to do it. And about the other girl, Aditi, she's quite a known actress in Bollywood. She's acted in Talash with Amir Khan. She's done a lead role in Do Duni Char with Rishi Kapoor and Neetu Singh. And she's extremely choosy, so she doesn't do too many. So this is something. She was supposed to do another film, which is in this festival. I won't name it. And at the last moment, she kind of stopped taking the calls and she came here. So I was quite like, she actually did this film. And yeah, so it was. I just spotted her on the internet, and we found out her number, and we asked her to do the film. That's how.
There's an appearance right at the beginning of your good friend and former colleague, and I guess guru in many ways, Mahesh Bhatt. How did you come to get him in the movie?
Mahesh Bhatt is an extremely generous man. I wrote a film for him. I wrote the screenplay of a movie called Murder 3, and he began with art house films. And I just told him that, listen, I need your help. I want you to do a small part in my film. And he said, yeah, sure, come anytime. And he came completely well prepared. And that the advice that he gives is his own. So.
That wasn't in the script. You didn't write that for him.
No, I'd written something else. He said, why should I say this?
No one gives lines to Mahesh Bhatt.
No, he actually, I think what he said made a lot of sense. He said, if I don't know what life is, if you know about it, come and tell me about it. Because I still haven't figured out. I think that is important. I wouldn't have written those lines.
मैं अपना लाइन बताता हूँ गांजा मांगोगे कोक देंगे रिश्वत मांगोगे ठोक देंगे एंटी करप्शन
Yeah, we just watched Sulemani Keeda, and so the characters themselves were amazing. You could probably see that they are actually genuine writers in their own merits, and I'd say that I'd definitely recommend for everyone to go and watch this film.
Like if you meet these people in real life, they're quite similar to Mayank and Dulal. And I think these emotions are pretty universal, If anyone is basic insecurities of working in an environment which is so toxic, which is so competitive. So this is any writer in why Bollywood, even Hollywood, might be similar to Mena Kendula in some respect or the other.
You must be getting a lot of support and love from those creatives in the industry that are going through a similar struggle back home. What was the response like at Mumbai Film Festival when this premiered last year within India? And then we'll move on to talk about how it's been received so far outside of.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was very positive because people really didn't expect something like this, and it was great to premiere in Mumbai because we had a lot of people from the industry come out, and that led to support that we didn't initially expect. For those of you who know, Prima Katki, Zoya Akhtar, they saw it, they loved it, then they started telling other people about it, which led to a lot of great interest. And then prior to that, we actually, for those of you who are from here, we were able to sell it to Channel 4 because of the Goa Film Bazaar.
It's great news.
So yeah, so very, very exciting stuff happening. But when we started the film, Amit and I, we obviously wanted an Indian theatrical release, which it looks like we'll be able to get. But we also thought, well, this will be cool to play to our buddies that are outside of India and our friends that are outside of India. And so it's great that Channel 4 is picking it up. And Film Buff as well, which is this distributor of indie films based in New York, they've also picked it up and are helping us with sales outside of India. So to answer your question, it's been great. And Bombay was a great place to start it out.
Let's go to the floor. Any questions in the audience that you'd like to ask? Yes, you sir.
What was the name of the electro pop song? It was really lovely.
What was the name of the electro pop song that was used?
I think, well, it's the one where when he was getting rejected, that kept playing in the background.
Yeah.
When he met his parents.
Oh yeah, that's actually it's called Dur.
Dur.
Yeah, Dur.
D-O-U-R.
Dur means far away. So.
Brilliant question. Any more questions on the floor? Okay. Oh yeah, we have one there.
I just wanted to ask, it's a brilliant script. How long did it take you to write the script?
How long did it take you to write the script?
Yeah, I wrote the first draft in around 9 days, but it was a very bad first draft, but it was the foundation for what you see now. And then this was written over a period of 1 year. After that, I was working on other things, so this was like a passion project on the side. So I was working on it, and there were several drafts, and finally we just went ahead. I mean, it could have been better, but we have to shoot it sometime, So we just started shooting it.
I've got one question about soundscape. Menak's walk or ride of shame home after discovering he can't get with Una. There's WWE soundtrack playing in the background. I think I heard Undertaker being defeated. Why is that in there?
Yeah, that was happening when he goes into the house where Una's brother or whoever he is, boyfriend. When you see that guy, the background music there is WWE. So it's just that extension of that.
Why did you choose? Oh, I see. You just brought it on because he was watching WWE. Yeah. Okay, I thought there was some deep, meaningful. We have a question here from this gentleman. Then we have to wrap up.
Yeah,
shooting time.
This was shot over a period of 24 days. We had one schedule which was around 19 days, and we finished a major chunk of it. And then one of my actors, he wasn't well, so we had to shoot after 4-5 months. So it was shot in March and most of March, yeah, in 2012 and September 2012. So it was shot over 2 schedules.
We have lots of hands going up.
I noticed
Last one.
There was this was in some sense a homage to Godard, or there's a picture, there's a frame. Were you aware of doing this as breaking out of or rebelling against a dominant narrative within Indian cinema?
See, I'm a big fan of French New Wave, especially Godard. So that was the only reason. There was no intention to rebel against anyone. But yeah, and Gonzo is a fan of out-of-the-box ideas. So.
Clearly, unfortunately we don't have time for any more because we have another movie, Hank and Asher, which will be playing here. So hopefully you guys will be sticking around. But I guess you guys will be in the foyer. We can, if anyone has any further questions, we can wrap up. Please continue to tweet, and thank you very much to Amit and Datta.
We are on Facebook, so if you guys could write about it on Facebook or join our Facebook page, that would be great.
Sulemani Keeda official.
Yeah, so if you just search for Sulemani Keeda, you'll find us. I don't think there's anyone else with that.
There you go.
I think Sulemani Keeda, a lovely film, love the soundtrack, and love Gonzo. You must watch it if nothing for else for Gonzo.
ये बता कि लेगा कैसे?
She's a nice girl.
तू नाइस गर्ल देती नहीं है क्या?
Sulemani Keeda was a really good film, and I would definitely tell you to go and watch it again. And it was really funny. The script was amazing, as well as all the music, and it really portrays Bombay very nicely. And it's got a lot of interesting scenes.
अगले साल हमें एक बड़ी फिल्म लिखनी है किसी बड़े खान के साथ. हमें यहाँ से यहाँ जाना है.
क्या हम तुम बीवी हो क्या मेरी?
बंदर होगा तू बहनचोद. मुझे आगे बढ़ना है.
तो आगे बढ़ो, तुम्हें कौन रोक रहा है?
तू रोक रहा है.
इस सदी के सबसे महान लेखकों में से 45 वर्षीय दुलाल लाल का आज एक दुर्घटना में निधन हो गया। शायद इसी वजह से प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने बड़ा अफसोस जताया और 3 दिन की छुट्टी और ड्राई डेज की घोषणा की ताकि लोग आराम से घर में बैठ कर शोक मना सकें।
I love you.
शोना।
Shona. Sadnan loves Sabah. Sibi loves Umrah. Umrao. Umrao Jan.
उमराव जान।
Jan.
उमराव जान।